Hi, my name is Marcio. I'm a student here at Adult and Teen Challenge of the Midlands. I'm 39 years old. I was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been here in Adult and Teen Challenge for over 7 months now. Growing up in Albuquerque was hard. Growing up, my father was an alcoholic and a gambler, so he was really never around. He left me and my brother with my mother to raise and take care of us. She worked several jobs to provide for us, and me and my brother just had to turn to the streets for male role models and growing up in different neighborhoods throughout Albuquerque. I was a good student, always getting A's and B's. Growing up, participated in different sports, but just without a father around, I could never get that male role model in my life. So I always hung around with other kids in different neighborhoods, just showing me and my brother what to do. By the time high school came around, I was taking harder classes. They were preparing me for college and to get scholarships, but it was a lot of stress. I even had a part-time job at a fast food restaurant, and just the stress from working all the time and going to school and trying to maintain those grades, it just wore out on me. I wanted things easier. I saw other kids getting it easier. Looked like they were having more fun. Looked like they didn't have to work as hard and to get what they wanted. So I started following them, started using drugs, partying, drinking, ditching school. Rarely did I ever, by my junior year, I rarely attended class. A couple of my friends showed me an easier way to make money. I started breaking into and stealing cars all night during high school. The only time I would go to school after that was just to sell or trade the stolen goods to other students. Trade them for drugs, use the money for drugs, partying, and everything. I dropped out of high school for about 6 months, and then my mom forced me to go to another high school to graduate, so I did that. And by the time I graduated, I'd known the drug dealer so well, I'd given me kind of street credit to start dealing drugs, getting whatever drugs I wanted and doing whatever I had to make money. By the time I was 21, I was making so much money, I was able to do whatever I wanted pretty much and buy whatever I wanted. I was able to afford lawyers and that would get cases thrown out just because of the money that I had. But it also led to a bigger drug addiction. By that time I built up an addiction to painkillers and Xanax. By around 2007, me and my brother started flipping houses, buying and flipping houses. And right after that, in 2008, the housing market crashed, and that pretty much took everything that I had. The housing market crashing just led me with a bigger drug addiction. It increased the amount of painkillers and Xanax that I was taking. I was taking so much painkillers and Xanax, when I finally tried to quit cold turkey, I ended up in a coma for 4 days and woke up in a hospital not knowing what happened. Eventually I switched the painkillers to heroin and started using heroin because it's a lot cheaper to use heroin. By that time I had thrown everything away, using heroin all the time. My life was in ruins. I didn't know what to do. Finally, I talked to my father, and my father had been living in Des Moines, Iowa for about 5 years, and we came up with a plan for me to move out here and clean up. I thought I could do it on my own. And I did live out here. I started cleaning up my life, got a good job, stopped using opiates completely while I was living out here for about 2.5 years. Then in 2013, my mother called me and asked for help. My brother had violated his parole, his conditions of release, and he was going to the pen for a little bit. And so my mother asked me to help her with his sons and just help any way I could. So of course I moved back. I transferred my job back to Albuquerque and moved there as soon as I could. About 3 months living back in Albuquerque, they diagnosed my mother with breast cancer. I hated my job there. It wasn't the same job, but a different location. A lot of stress. The stress from my work and from my mother and breast cancer just wore out on me. And immediately I turned right back to using heroin again. Except I started using meth and heroin at the same time. Every day for a few months. The combination, after a while, it made me hallucinate. I jacked a car, crashed the car through a gate at a business, went into the business building and vandalized it for hours. The sheriff's department was calling me out for hours, but I thought I didn't think any of it was really happening. I finally came out of the building, and a German Shepherd takes me down. They throw me back in the back of a cop car just to realize that it was a 3-story building that was burning to the ground. They could not save it. I got a lawyer, and his plan was for me to attend a Dalton Teen Challenge. He had a previous client that was that had completed the program and was successful right now. So I really didn't want to. I didn't know what to expect. I was an atheist then. I had no idea. I had an idea who God was, but I did not believe. So I signed the paperwork. The judge agreed to it, and I immediately was basically placed on a plane 2 days later to attend the program. I had no idea what to expect. My lawyer didn't really give me any plan of what to expect either. But immediately, I found Jesus. I found that there is a calling on my life. I couldn't do anything. I tried doing everything by myself, and I could not do it. I could not. But now, since I've been here, I've been completely sober for over 7 months. And that's the longest I've been sober since in high school. Right now, I know there's a call. Jesus has a calling on my life, and I'm just trying to fulfill his tasks. He's spoken many revelations. Even though I didn't want him in the past, I see that he has always been there. I can see miracles from my past that he's always been there, and he'll continue to be there as long as I follow him.